Rebecca Kennedy here, and today we're covering the point of being on LinkedIn, to really form those connections. And what will you do once you make that connection? Well, you want to engage, you want to start a conversation. And a little too often I can see something that looks like a very obvious, sent by an autoresponder, blah blah, really lengthy, all about the other person, what they do, and a couple of links to check them out. So this is a way to really differentiate our messaging on LinkedIn in a way that we would if we were in a real conversation with someone at a networking event. We want to get to know them. We want to learn about what they're focusing on, what they're working on, how we can help them, or be a resource, such as perhaps through an introduction or a piece of advice or a tip. So in order to do that, usually the best way to approach this is a real short and sweet message. Any personalization really shows that it's not an autoresponder, and especially if it's not too long or too verbose. So I wanted to share some examples of that. So when I first connect with someone, and what's nice about them accepting is I can also see how I customized the initial invitation to connect with them, and that really does encourage, it really shares the reason why I think we're a good fit to connect or share our network, and it really does enhance the connections that are going to be received, as opposed to when just the automatic connection goes out, which is their generic, I'd like to add you to my network on LinkedIn. So when they connect, sometimes they'll reply to a question, and sometimes they'll do it later. A lot of LinkedIn usage is done by mobile. It's really quick to accept an invitation to connect, and in some cases someone will respond. It can be next week, it can even be occasionally a few months later, and that's fine. It's on, you engage with someone at the right time for both of you. So I'm bringing up this example because now that we're connected, how am I going to thank this person for their connection, follow up, and possibly engage in a conversation? I might send another real short and sweet message asking about what they're working on or focusing on. And if I do talk about myself, I keep it real short. And then I like to add one thing, not several things, one thing that I offer for free that may be a resource or a value to them for us to get to know each other better. So let's go to an example of that, which I have here with John. And you'll see this is real short. In some cases, I would even advise making this shorter so it's much more conversation style. This is about as long as I let my messages get on LinkedIn. Why? Because really more than nice little snippets of content, and it might look too much like a template, not a responder, or something that they're going to read later, which is why we want to engage in LinkedIn, to keep that real friendly conversation style going. So I had a thank you for connecting with me on LinkedIn. This person's a recruiter, which is why I specifically asked a little bit of customization. They know it's not an autoresponder. I asked if I know who they're looking for, anything I can help with their recruiting efforts, what are they focused on now. And then just a real short snippet of something that I offer for free that they can check out, learn a little bit more about me, and learn about how I may help or be a resource to them. And then I thank them. And then I might just ping them a few months later, or even probably a few weeks later. It depends on the level of engagement. I won't bug people, but I like to check in. So maybe in 4 to 8 weeks, I will see what their updates are on LinkedIn. I might have an occasion to congratulate them on a work anniversary or a new job or a new piece of content or post that they make, and just see how they're doing, and also just reach out again and see how I may be of help to them. So this is a great way on how to properly use LinkedIn messaging. We're not treating it like email. We're not using it to spam people. We're just being real friendly and creating real business relationships. And this approach and this style, because these messages are really short, and you can also create systems for when to follow up with people, it's going to really differentiate you. It's all too common to automate messages or connect with people and then never follow up or never follow their content. And when you do that, you really differentiate yourself as someone who's in this long term to make real business relationships. So I've given you 2 examples of how I customize a connection and how I do a follow-up. Love to hear how you try this out and, of course, how it works for you. You can reach out to me at veronica@kennedyconsulting.com. Thanks.